look at bro when the waiter says couples eat for free. I low-key want bro and not the food.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Another Swing at It, where I redraw my old drawings and we both learn something from it, hopefully. Today, I have some sort of scene queen, Sailor Moon type character that I made a while ago. I think it's probably about 3 or 4 years old. I believe so. Such an interesting character design that I think it would be appropriate for me to use my current skills to redraw it, because I really do think that this is a good enough character design that I had back when I was a younger artist. I believe the most important aspect of redoing this character and making it more of a pleasing design is simplifying the aspects of her outfit that may have made it seem a lot more crowded than it is. You know, the approach that I use on almost the same outfit is different just because I put more effort into simplifying the design, because I think in the older drawing you could see there's aspects of the drawing that I don't really have control of, and it really makes the drawing look way more crowded than it actually needs to be, just by the fact that I make these choices. Like, I think you could see on the original wand, I drew individual feathers, or on the belt, I drew individual belt studs, or just how it's colored in general. There's a lot of choices that I made that were not the best in making the character design come through easily. I think there's something you need to know. The difference between art and design is that art can be anything. It could look bad, it's still art. It could look like this, it could be this. Anything can be art. There are no rules to art, but design is entirely different. There are things that humans just inherently don't like to see. Like, think about the color red and green. I contrast red and green. Those do not look good together. There's colors that don't look good together. There are things that you could do to a design to make it look worse. It's just human nature. And that's something you have to admit. If you're designing a character, it has to adhere to basic design. I'm not saying that it needs to be limited in an artistic sense, but you need to make it make sense in the sense of color, shape, contrast, just the basic artistic fundamentals. It's something you just need to adhere to, unless no one's gonna really appreciate it. Another choice that I made that ended up making it look a lot more like it was out of my control, like I didn't know what I was doing, is the scribbling instead of cross-hatching. So with cross-hatching, it is a lot more easier to make an even shade and an even gradient. With scribbling, I didn't know what I was doing with that. Of course, I believe if you're a skilled enough artist, the scribbling is a valid way in order to form a gradient or even an even color shade, but obviously I didn't know what I was doing. If you don't know what you're doing with that, learn. But from what I'm seeing, I don't know. I really didn't know what I was doing. It was just scribbles, and there's obvious spots where it's lighter and darker, and it doesn't make sense with the shading. And again, it just looks bad with how simple my style was. I think scribbling is something for more of a either like Ren and Stimpy type thing, or maybe even leaning towards more realistic, not my very cartoonish style. Now I understand I think I was kind of wanting to make a character reference sheet for this idea, but still, it's really hard to look at this and think it's a pleasing design when the character is like in the default like go animate pose. Do y'all remember go animate? It's just a very stiff pose. Very so of course I had to change it to make it just a tad more interesting. At least the character's still standing straight up, but her arms are up and shit like that. It's just, if this was a character ref sheet, that would be fine, but the fact that this is the only drawing of this outfit idea that I had, I wish I had just put, I don't know, a touch more effort into the execution and given the character an interesting pose. That's just another thing about character design too, is that it's not just what they wear, what they look like, it's how they carry themselves. And you know, from this, you can't tell anything. So, you know, an outfit is only one part of it. How the character is posed and their attitude and everything can also help with that. You could see in the newer drawing she has her wand up and is kind of doing just like a dainty thing with the wand, which gives more character, and it gives more character to the outfit and what it's supposed to represent. I could have made it to where she has like a more darker dominating pose to make it the outfit look more villainous and scary. And the fact that she has a wand and is waving it around like a Sailor Moon character, it doesn't make it look as evil, and showing my intention that this isn't supposed to be, you know, a villain character. This is supposed to be a rave girl that is dressed, that is just like a Sailor Moon character. I know all of my ink drawings are monochromatic and it was like that before, but I still can't ignore my horrible use of highlighter in this drawing and how it draws focus to one thing only in the drawing. That's why I only use highlighters for like blush and stuff to draw your eye to the eyes of the character, but me just using it on predominantly the ribcage part of her dress was just a horrible choice. It was either a color that had to be more evenly distributed throughout the character or just highlighted in one spot, maybe on the wand or something. And that's it. There she is. Whole new character. Whole different character. Same outfit and same everything. Junior Mints. But I think you can tell the many differences that I said throughout this video, but you know, I can only say so much. Ultimately, what shows the difference is the comparison.
Merry Christmas. Have you been a good boy? I know you have. Come on, Santa's got a surprise.